Hello everybody, Throwback Donuts here, and welcome, one and all, new and old viewers, for a new series. That's right, finally getting around to doing Umineko. Been on my to-do list for a long time. I'm relatively familiar with 7th Expansion's works. I watched the Higurashi anime way back in the day, which is why I'm just skipping right to Umineko. I learned from an ill-fated Little Busters playthrough my old channel before that got deleted, that rereading something you already know the whole plot line of is kind of a slog, and it makes the recording process unenjoyable, and it makes the viewing process relatively unenjoyable. Wow, crazy how that works, huh? But yeah, sorry folks, if you wanted to see that. I don't want to put you guys through that, and I don't want to put myself through it. But just a little forewarning, I do know a little about Umineko, mainly because, you're on anime boards for, fucking the past decade and a half. You're gonna pick up little bits and nuggets of information, like game piece, I don't know what that is, a board, witches, my guess is kind of like the Higurashi thing, where it's like, ooh, is the supernatural real or not? It's like some of the question marks. It's like, it is real, but then it's like, no, it's not. You're fucking stupid. And so yeah, I relatively know what to expect, but broad strokes, like fine plot details, no fucking clue. I know a couple of characters' names. I know Battler's based. There's fucking little gremlins. Lamb Delta looks like Sadako, and there may be plot reasons for that. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's just hop right into it. You may notice that, yes, I am playing the Umineko Project version of the game. I do have the Steam version downloaded, but I wanted to play with the original sprites, because according to some people, I have bad taste. And, I just like the way they look, they got soul, that passion. The artist's original intent. But from everything I've read, the Steam version's lacking some stuff. There's the 7th expansion mod or 7th mod, I can't remember, which brings some stuff in and lets you still use the Steam version with the original sprites. But it just seems like the Umineko project just has so much more content and nice little quality of life features. I'd be stupid not to use it. So that's what we're doing. If you're like me and you wanted to see the original sprites, I'm sorry, but hearing from mainly everybody that I talk to in Discord, I'm the weird one and has bad taste for wanting to use them. So PS3 sprites it is, with the lip flaps and all the little whistles and bells. And if you're wondering how this is going to be situated for episode and, oh god, fuck that bell, let's just start it up so I don't have to listen to that. Everything is going to be Umineko part one all the way to the end. I'm going to make playlists for all the different arcs, all the different episodes, for the questions and answers arcs, and it'll all be broken up like that. Mainly because I'm a lazy piece of shit, and I worked really hard on that thumbnail, and that music is a little loud. I thought I saved my sound options there. No, it didn't. Alright, that's about what I had before. There we go. Music, a little loud. I came in beforehand. This is as far as I got in order just to do my sound settings. Let me know how it sounds in the comments. It's going to be a couple days, from the time this is recorded to when it's going to go up. And by the time, I'll probably be already a couple parts in. But hey, anything I can do after fact to, tweak things for the future, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. But I am going to listen through it afterwards and see if there's anything I can do on my end. But I think this is relatively good. Everything's mostly balanced. All right, cool. Let's go. I actually don't know if what the voice acting is going to be like on my part, whether I'm going to have to read main character lines with the main character's voice, or if I'm just doing internal dialogue. It's nice when the main character's voice, but honestly, I feel like I'm just sitting around doing nothing for a lot of the time, and as the person doing the recording, just twiddling my thumbs, trying to fill dead air, like I am right now. Well, Not right now, I'm just ranting and rambling again. So hey, yeah, if you're new, I do this a lot. A lot of times I'll just go on random tangents that last, like, for several minutes. Sorry. It's just how it is. But, I like to, use my voice acting chops, even though I'm not very good. I've been told I have a relatively decent radio voice. That's part of, that's a bit of a holdover from one of my previous jobs. But hey, if I'm good at it, might as well, try to do it instead of just like sitting around for 80% of the time. The old physician let out a sigh as he removed the stethoscope. 2 elderly men could be seen in the dimly lit study, which was filled with dust and a sickly sweet stench. Ugh. Like sticky scent? In the corner of the room, which is much larger than what most people would call a study, there's an expensive-looking bed, a man undergoing a medical examination, and the physician conducting it. There was also what appeared to be a servant watching over the whole scene. Hey, yeah, and I know this guy. He's the child chest, child stomach, erotic. I know it's the tweet, but, people like to put that on his original sprite. What his actual character is,
Yeah,
like a brave commander once said, "Alcohol is humanity's friend. How could I ever abandon a friend?" The man who bared his chest for the stethoscope spoke unapologetically as he straightened out his clothes.
Kinzo-san, あんたの体が一見調子がいいのは薬が効いてるから。
Does this version have like the Dongopedia from the Clanad port and Little Busters, or is it just? Nope. Okay. I saw the sun is like glowing green. I'm like, is that like a hyperlink? Because one thing I really do like about the Clanad and Little Busters ports over to the Steam versions is they have like the little hyperlinks for certain texts, so you can click on them in order to get like a background description on like what the fuck they're talking about. Because a lot of the times, Japanese product, they'll make a reference to something in Japanese culture, which, as a filthy gaijin, you never get unless you're like deep in the shit. And a lot of them were written like over a decade ago, so even if you knew like Japanese like cultural stuff, whether you knew about them in 2005 is a different story. So nice little detail. You can see why a lot of people don't do it, because you need to code in extra shit. It's it's a whole other thing. Moving on. Yeah, you don't need to stop. Going cold turkey can fucking kill you. Get it down a bit, old timer. Yeah, put some ice cubes in it. After eyeing both the master who demanded the alcohol and his doctor who forbade it, Genji, the old butler, silently gave a slight nod and carried out his master's orders faithfully. Nanjo, the man's personal doctor, let out a deep sigh once again as he watched the butler busy himself alongside the liquor cabinet. Oh god, hold on, I got something in my sinuses. Give me a sec. Ew, that was gross. Moving on. There was a smell filling up the room. A sweet, poisonous aroma felt as though it melted the heart, if not the soul itself. What kind of alcohol are you drinking that it's like super hard but sweet? Ugh, that sounds like Hangovers Central. The smell of that venomous green drink that the man couldn't bring himself to part from. You drinking fucking absinthe? Hardcore.
お前は私の長きにわたる親友だ。今日まで私を長らえさせてくれたことを深く感謝する。
私は何も医者としての忠告
You better be fucking doing something.
金蔵さんは全く聞いてくれませんからな。
お前とて差し間違えた手を待てと言っても聞かぬではないか。ならば愛子というものだろう。
Well, when you're playing against him, or just like coaching him over the shoulder because, you know, if my opponent was, you know, pointing out my moves, I also wouldn't listen.
親方様。
すまぬ。薬は切れても死にはせんが、こいつが切れては死んでしまうでな。
Yeah, probably. With one eye on Nanjo, who had his face set on a resigned expression, Kinzo took a glass that Genji was holding out to him. There's probably very few people who would associate the venomous color which filled the glass with an alcoholic beverage. Yeah.
Nanjo.
It's usually brown or clear for like spirits.
正直に話せ。私の命はあとどの程度持つ？
さて、どのくらいと申し上げれば、そのお酒を控えてくれますやら。
Joe once again let out a sigh of resignation. As he watched Kinzo down the glass regardless, he spoke.
長くはありませんな。
Oof.
どの程度に長くないというのだ？
このチェスで例えましょう。金蔵さんの爪もなかなかですが、私のキングを追い詰めるには至りますまい。
Someone's mortality. Joe's gaze was directed at the side table with a stately chess set placed on top of it. Judging by the position of the pieces, the match was well into the end game. If you say so, I know a little bit about chess. Looks like he's castling his king, while black is. I don't know too much about like all the special gambits and whatever, and like, oh, you do this, I counter with this. I know the basics, like castling. Oh god, what's it called when you like move a pawn past another one, en passing or whatever. I can't do the pronunciation. It's probably French. The black rook and bishop were cutting deeply into the enemy lines. The white king had already castled the corner, and so even an amateur could see that the match would reach its conclusion before too long. Wait, what? The white king? It seems like white is still right in the middle, my guy. But hey, what do I know? Every time Nanjo gave a medical examination, both of them would make a few moves. Nanjo was stating with confidence that Kinzo would most likely fall into his eternal sleep before the game could ever be concluded. These were less the words of a physician than they were the words of an old-time friend.
普通の患者になら遺言を書くよう勧める頃です。
Why
遺言とはなんだ、Nanjo。私の屍をどのように食い散らかせとハゲタカどもに指南する書き置きなのか。
Well, that's one way to look at it.
いや、違いますぞ。遺言は意思を残すことだ。遺産分配のことだけを書くものじゃない。
ほう、遺産分配以外に書くこととは何なのか。
You know, kind of like your feelings and thoughts just in general.
心残りややり残し、受け継いでほしいことや伝えたいこと、何でもいいんです。
受け継いでほしいことや伝えたいことだと。
Bullshit, my god. Like in some people's families, just they fucking rip each other's apart about that shit.
バカバカしい。この後ろ宮金蔵、後に残したいことも伝えたいこともただの一つもないわ。裸一貫で生まれた。そして裸一貫で死ぬ。
That's one way to look at it.
バカ息子どもに残したいものなど何一つないわ。
Yeah, fuck them kids.
もしも訪れる最後が今日だとしても、今だとしても、私は何も恐れることなくその死の運命を受け入れようではないか。
All right.
金蔵さん。
I wouldn't really call that going with grace, but you know.
全てを築き上げた。富も名誉も全てだ。それらは私と共に築き上げられ、私と共に失われよう。後に残してやるものなど何もないわ。
Alright, I can respect that.
何もない。あとは野となれ山となれ。墓も棺も何も望まぬわ。
What, just fucking put you on the curb on trash day?
それが魔女と私の契約だ。私が死ぬ時に全てを失う。初めからその約束だからこそ何も残らぬのだ。
Alright, man, if you say so.
何も残せぬのだ。
After reaching a furious crescendo, Kinzo suddenly slumped over. His expression was limp and feeble, as though an evil spirit had possessed him and then left.
だが未練がある。残すものは何一つないが、残したまま行けぬものが一つだけある。
それを書き記せばいい。
Yeah, unless it's,
もちろん
can't.
生きているうちにこなせればそれでいい。
Yeah.
だが万一の時、残されたものがそれを引
I
き
mean,
継い
you're
で
an
く
old guy, you can just fucking slip in the shower and crack your head and that's that. You know, I used to think like fucking people falling in the shower and like doing themselves in, like, oh, what fucking idiots. Until I fell in the shower once a couple years ago and like broke my ribs. I was trying to hit a fly that was on my towel, so I was like leaning out of it and like went to like slam my arm back, but you know, equal opposite reaction. My feet went forward as my arm went back because I had taken out like my non-slip mat in order to wash it. Joke's on me, that thing would have fucking saved my ribs. And then fell right on the corner of the tub on my ribs. Probably broke them. Never went to the doctor. No idea why. I have full health insurance. It would have been completely covered. But I just wanted to be a tough son of a bitch and be like, no, I'm a man. As I fucking can't sleep at night because, you know, you can't roll over or do anything. Otherwise, you fucking wake up in shooting pain.
自分に万一があっても必ずその心残りが解決できるように残していく。それが遺言というものです。
Nanjo tried to gently pat Kinzo's shoulder. The dying man flew into a sudden rage and batted away Nanjo's hand.
ダメだダメだダメだ。私が生きているうちでなくてはならぬ。私は死ねば魂はすぐに契約の悪魔に食らわれて消え去ってしまう。
Sounds metal.
死後の世界も安らぎも私にはないのだ。だから全ては私が生きているうちでなければならぬ。だから遺言状など私には必要ない。
Yeah, but what about your shit?
そのようなものを書く暇があったなら、
Looks like a nice place you got here, you
あったなら。
Someone's gotta, you know, you get it. Unless you want to just burn the whole place down.
私は見たい。もう一度見たい。ベアトリーチェの微笑む顔がもう一度見たい。
That's a name I recognize.
はあ、ベアトリーチェ、なぜに私をこれほどまでに拒むのか。
I was about to say it's spelled in different font, but no, it's just in all capitals, which is a little weird.
今こそお前に与えられた全てを返そう。全てを失おう。だから最後にもう一度だけお前の美少を見せてくれ。ベアトリーチェ、頼む、交渉だ。聞こえているはずだ。お前はそういう女だ。
Simp.
頼む、姿を見せてくれ。
Only if you donate 500 gift subs.
いるんだろう。聞こえていながら姿を消し、今もこの部屋のどこかで私を嘲笑っているのだろう。私の前にもう一度現れてくれ。そして微笑んでくれ。なじってくれてもいい。望むならお前の手で私の命を奪ってくれてもいい。このまま一人で死にたくない。お前の微笑みを再び一目見るまでは絶対に死ねないのだ。
You got that portrait on the wall.
ああ、ベアトリーチェ、ベアトリーチェ。
Good
こ
line.
の命はくれてやる。お前にくれてやる。五章だ。ベアトリーチェ。
We got the opening. Nice. Maybe we'll finally learn what the fuck a sea cat is. Hey, subtitles, nice. So, gotta love a copyright claim when this video now. But hey, you know, none of my stuff's monetized. Even if it was, I wouldn't really care. This is just a don't ever plan on making YouTube like a whole big career, but you know, it's a little fun thing to do on the side. If you're unfamiliar with the way the YouTube monetization process works, is in order for videos to be monetized at all, you need to have it's at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And you know, looking at my sub count at the time of this video, you know, well below that, but you know, maybe this it would change. You know, brand new popular series. I don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and the notification bell. But no, it's not. Even if they were, it would just be a pittance. For visual novel read-throughs, not the most, you know, general popular thing in the world. I'd say it's fairly niche. Definitely not going to make a fucking fortune off this, even if it was monetized. But hey, you know, thumbs are the breaks. October 4th, 1986. Is it going to move on its own? There we go.
へえ時代ってやつは進歩してんな。
Well, Battler's voice acted.
たったの20分でついちまったんだか
Lucky
ら
you guys. Means
驚
you
いちま
won't
う
be
ぜ。
stuck with me for, you know, 80% of the game. I couldn't help but scratch my head and marvel how far things have come in the recent years. We used to go by boat. Back then, we were all forced to endure nearly a half day of swaying back and forth over the sea before we reached Nijima. Things have gotten so much more convenient these days. Still, I've never been on a plane this small. I've flown in a huge jumbo jet before, but this would be my first experience in such a tiny one. It's gonna shake, isn't it? They say smaller boats shake more, so I guess the same rule applies to planes. It depends, really. Like, yeah, a smaller plane can, like, if you hit, like, turbulence or, like, downdrafts, it's gonna fucking jostle your shit a little bit more, but, you know, I've only ever really flown on big ones. Just spare me.
大丈夫だよ、バトラー君。船に比べたら全然揺れは少ないよ。
I got very confused for a second. I'm like, is his last name fucking George? But then I remembered, you know, Japanese naming conventions.
うわジョージの兄貴かよ。急に勘弁してくれよ。今ので寿命が3年縮んじまったぜ。
Hopefully that doesn't bring your life expectancy down to the next week or two.
つうか、揺れってなんすか？別に俺は飛行機も揺れんのかな？まさか落ちたりしねえかな？
Turbulence has
な
never
んて
been the
夢に
sole
も思っちゃ
cause
い
of
ない
a
ぜ。
plane crash before. Like, at all.
ごめんごめん。
It's why whenever I'm on a plane and it's, you know, really bad turbulence and then you get like the fucking, you know, you get the classic woman who's just screaming her head off. Like, oh my god, fucking shut up, shut up!
もう小さい頃とは違うよね。あれから6年も経ってるんだし、もうバトラ君も子供じゃないか。
How old are you guys? I'm guessing early 20s for Battler?
じゃあ、兄貴はタバコも酒も OK ってかよ。
Well, under 20? I know the drinking age right now in Japan is 20, but who knows what it was in the fucking 80s.
タバコは興味ねえけど、酒は飲んでみたいよな。
It'll ruin your life.
兄貴なんか、おじさんの遺伝子あんなら相当飲めちゃいそうだけど。
僕の場合は好きで飲むというよりは仕事で飲む方が多いからね。日本のビジネスは酒抜きでは難しいよ。
そうっすよね。だから俺も今晩の夕食あたりに初挑戦してみようかなって。
ダメだよ。バトラ君はまだ未成年じゃないか。
Fucking Battler's a little baby boy.
未成年の飲酒は発育に悪影響を及ぼす可能性が
I guess the suit adds a couple years.
こんだけタッパがありゃ俺の発育は十分っすから。
That's not how it works.
むしろちょいと身長縮めた方が服が探しやすいくらい。
I puffed my chest out proudly. Well, it doesn't matter how tall you are. It's really about, like, your body mass. You can be, like, fucking 7'2", but, you know, you weigh 170 pounds at that height. You know, alcohol is gonna fucking hit you like a truck. Until I hit my growth spurt, my height was below average in my class. Then, I grew and grew. Before I knew it, I was over 180 centimeters. I mean, for a Japanese kid in the fucking 80s, fucking giant. I guess I'll have all that muscle training and those shady mail-order performance-enhancing drugs to thank for that. Before then, I never dreamed I'd shoot up over 10 centimeters above George Aniki, who reached his peak height early on. And that's how it is. Some people just fucking hit that second growth spurt. Which I never hit. Damn. My relatives all say, "Look at how big you've grown, Battler-chan," or something. That kind of thing is really embarrassing, so I hope they cut me a break. Anyway, my name, Battler. Yeah, it's real fucking weird. Well, it's pretty damn weird, don't you think? Gotta wonder what my parents were thinking when they gave me that name. Never met anyone who could read it right at the first time. Yeah, it's not a name. I usually get called Sento-kun. What? That must be a kanji thing. Too bad. Swing and a miss. My name is written... Yes, I was right. It's a kanji thing. I wish I could read some of it. I know the first one's, oh god, it's... Is that the one for stone? Ishi? I think so. Anyway, moving on. Can you read it? Nope. I've been, fucking up on all my kanji stuff. I haven't studied in, like, over a year. Oops. The first part of my family name, Ushiromiya. I probably put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. That's a fairly plausible Japanese pronunciation so far. The problem is my own name. That is made up of the characters for fight and person, and it's pronounced battler. Oh, I see it. No, a person who fights. Someone who battles. A battler. Put it all together, and you've got Ishiromiya Battler. Pretty crazy, right? It's crazy enough that my parents declined to call me that, but it's even more crazy that some government worker let them make it official. Even decided to call them that. Both groups are on the top of my must-kill list. Anyway, this is one of my cousins. Yep. Pronounced Ushiromiya George. He's 5 years older than me, and he's probably turning 23 this year. Since the oh god, new names. Why am I stumbling on this now? Ushiromiya. I gotta say it like 10 times. I'll get used to it by the next episode, don't worry about it. The Ushiromiya cousins consist of 2 boys and 3 girls. I ended up playing with George all the time. And because I've always thought of him as a big brother, I still call him Aniki these days.
しかしバトラ君は大きくなったな。男子3日を渡れば刮目して待つべしとはよう言うたもんや。
やっぱり血かしらね。ルドルフも高校くらいまでは身長そんなになかったのよ。
Does this lady have a lazy eye?
成長期が遅い方が最終的には伸びるのかもね。
Generally, yeah, that seems to be how it goes.
なことないっすよ。
I never really had like a big growth spurt. It was just more of like a steady thing. And then I capped out at like... You know, it really depends on the day, because whenever I go in for like my physicals, I'm either 5'10 or 5'9. You know, so I'm somewhere in the middle there, depending on like how compressed my spine is that day.
男は中身も伴わなくっちゃ。
そうや。
Yep, gotta have guts!
バトラ君は分かっとる。男は中身で勝負なんや。 常に己の鍛錬を忘れたらあかん。そして虎視眈々とチャンスを待ってドカンと開花させるんや。わしもまさか今日会社社長なんて一国一城の主になれるとは思わんかった。
I mean, it seems like you're all from a pretty rich family, so, seems relatively in the cards for that to happen.
そうや。あの無一文の焼け野原
Wouldn't
が
have
わ
got
し
where
の
I
原
am today if
点
it
なん
weren't for
や。
my guts and determination and the $10 million loan I got from my father. This portly and slightly chubby man is George Anaki's dad, Uncle Hideyoshi. And there's the spelling for you. Doesn't matter to me, it's probably gonna be some important plot point later about, like, oh, the way their names are spelled or something that's not gonna fucking click until they spell it out for me. He's the husband of Dad's older sister. In other words, we're not blood related. He's nice to children, sociable all the time, and quick to give out some spending money to us kids. Simply put, he's an awesome uncle. Okay, so he married into the family, so, you know, you get a pass. He speaks in an odd and very noticeable Kansai-style dialect seemingly of his own creation, but he's actually a natural-born Kanto man. Really. I know enough about Japanese geography for that to be weird. Apparently, leaving an impression is everything in the business world. Speaking a different style than other people is an act that makes him stick out more. Okay, yeah, that's a relatively decent strategy. However, I hear that he gets embarrassed when talking with an earshot of a real Kansai person, so he switches back to standard Japanese. I don't really get it, but he's definitely an interesting person.
すぐ自分の自慢話に入っちゃうのがたまに傷なのよね。およしなさいな。
God, little airport terminals like this, fucking... They have that little vibe, you know. I don't know why I just brought that up, but, you know, big man blocking the couches and now I'm able to see it. Reminds me of the time I got stuck in Bangor, Maine. We had just come back from fucking Ramstein. But there's a storm brewing down up the coast, so we had to stop there for the night. And then we were stuck in the little Bangor terminal, which is literally a room like this with like a couple couches and a TV showing Scrubs. For like several hours while we tried to get a hotel room.
バトラ君、耳にタコができちゃってるんだから。ねえ。
そんなことねえっすよ。
Yeah, you gotta humor the old timers.
でもいいじゃないっすか。
Seems like Battler's the baby of the family, which is something I can bond with him on that.
語れる武勇伝があるってのは男としてかっこいいことだと思いますよ。
Besides, of my family, I'm the youngest among my cousins, and by a long shot too. A lot of my cousins are like 5 to 10 years older than me.
俺なんか語るような話は何もないっすからね。
Oh, yeah, you're a minor.
あら、そう
Or not? I don't know.
バトラ君なんかそのルックスで
He's in that,
いっ
he's in
ぱ
that
い女の
transitionary
子を泣か
period
せて
from
そうだ
when
か
you're
ら
like no longer a
さぞ
teenager,
か
but
し
you're
武
not a
勇
real
伝が
adult.
多そうだと思ったんだけど。
うわあだ情報弾じゃないっすよ。そんな妙な武勇伝あるわけないじゃない。むしろ紹介してほしいくらいっす。
あら、あるんでしょ武勇伝。
Yeah, stories of rejection.
おばさんにも後で教えてね。ジョージったらそういう浮ついた話が全然ないんだから。
Seems like everyone's real big on the bird motif. This is my aunt and George Anaki's mother, Auntie Ava. She's my dad's older sister. She and Uncle Hideyoshi are a pair of jokers. They've always teased me back as far as I can remember. They sometimes made them a bit hard to get along with when I was small. That said, I'm currently in the process of discovering that they still are hard to get along with. Even so, George Anaki's family is interesting and fun, and they seem to get along just fine. Sheesh, it's pretty much the total opposite of my family.
バトラ
What's your
君、
side looking like?
ルドルフさんを見なかった？
あ、さっきお手洗いに行くのを見ましたけど、まだ出てこないんすか？こりゃぽっくりいっちまったかな。ナムナムナムナム。
自分のお父さんにそんな言い方はないでしょ。まあ あの人のお手洗いが長いのは今に始まったことじゃないしね。
ああ、あんにゃろは昔っからそうです。
Sounds like you should go see a doctor.
雑誌持ってトイレに入るのやめてほしいんすよね。何の雑誌持ち込んで何をしてんだか。
Alright, don't be talking about your dad like that. That's a little weird.
そんな心配は全然不要よ。私と一緒にいる以上、そんなこと一人でさせやしないもの。
Oh, don't.
なんの話か。後でじっくり聞きたいっすね。
How about we don't?
親父め、玉まで握られてグーの音も出ないわけだ。
握っとかないとどういうことになるか、よーくわかってるでしょ？
いやいや、まったく。あのクソ親父の手綱は、キリエさんにしか無理っすよ。実の息子の俺も、喜んで譲っちゃいますわ。
So, I'm guessing stepmom?
ええ、任せてちょうだい。そういうの、得意なのよ。
This woman is my dad's wife. Okay, yeah, stepmom. That'd be one weird way to refer to your own mother. Her name is Ushiro Miya Kirie. As you can probably tell from our conversation, she's not my real mother. She's basically my stepmother. Basically? It seems like she is. My real mom died 6 years ago. Kirie-san is the woman Dad married afterwards. I mean, I'm not a kid anymore. It's way too late now for me to start calling his second wife Mom. Yeah, that's fair. And I doubt she feels like using the word son on this massive kid who's got no relation to her at all. We weren't little kids. I know there's nothing to be gained by fighting. So, we decided that we wouldn't force ourselves to pretend we were a family. I decided to act a bit more frank with her, as though she's a friendly neighbor instead. It's much easier to keep just a little distance instead of forcing ourselves to act all close and making each other uncomfortable. Yeah, you're right. Kirie-san has been very open about all this, and thanks to that, we've been able to get along pretty well. As we were capitalizing on Dad being away in the bathroom to badmouth him, the man himself came back, wiping his hands with a handkerchief.
バトル？
なんだよ、親父。耳つねんな、耳。
また母さんと俺の悪口を言ってたろ。
Yup.
なんでお前には父親に対する尊敬の念ってやつがわかねえんだ？
いででででででででででいでよ、クソ親父。俺の耳伸ばしたって空は飛べねえぞ
ほれほれ、縦縦横横丸書いて逆に回して倍率どんどんさらに2倍。お父様、失礼なこと言ってごめんなさいって言って。
冗談じゃねえぜ。そういうのは会員制のお店でやりやがれってんだ。だから話せって。
This old bastard is my dad. I think I'm pretty tall, but Dad's about the same height. Probably no surprise that Auntie Ava started talking about Dad's blood when she saw my height. By the way, my height isn't the only thing I got from him. Seems having weird names runs in the family. Dad's full name is written as that. Can you read it? Nope. Not many could, I'll tell you that. That mess of characters is pronounced Rudolph. He must hate grandfather for giving him that name. Still, that's no reason to pass that weird naming tradition on to me. As the old bastard twisted my ear all over the place, Auntie Ava snuck up behind him and grabbed his ear.
こらこらルドルフ、息子に乱暴してるんじゃないわよ。
言ってよ姉貴。
The scene before me was a perfect realization of the trope of the older sister who deals out punishment to her prankster younger brother despite his size.
エヴァ姉さん、そのくらいにしてあげてください。同じ分、後で反対の耳を私が引っ張って伸ばしておきますので。
あら、ごめんなさいね。キリエさんの引っ張る分も残しておかなくっちゃ。ルドルフ、後でたっぷりキリエさんにお仕置きしてもらいなさいね。
Don't phrase it like that.
たく、 姉貴こそ弟いじめもいいとこだぜ。
Just seems like we exist just for that purpose, doesn't it, bud?
秀吉兄さんもこんな姉貴を拾ってくれて本当にありがとうございます。兄さんの寛大さがな
Someone
かっ
else
た
to
ら
take the heat.
今でもまだ売れ残ってますよ。弟として申し訳ないです。
誰が売れ残るって？
Nothing wrong with some Christmas cake. After taking 2 or 3 steps back, Auntie Ava unleashed one of her beautiful high reverse roundhouse kicks, which stopped just a centimeter away from the tip of Dad's nose. Damn, is it fucking that dress? She's probably wearing heels too, I'd imagine. After starting out with Tai Chi, oh god, ooh, Tai Chi Chuan for her figure, Auntie Ava had then developed an interest in Chinese martial arts. After that, she went through karate, taekwondo, I can't pronounce that one. And what is it that she's learning now again? Well, anyway, they say a woman's weapons are her lower body. That's certainly true for Auntie Ava.
ルドルフ？側頭部直撃だと一発で混沌
Yeah,
するわ
your
よ。
legs and back are some of the strongest weapons in your body, so you know.
この間演舞でミスって相方泡吹いちゃったんだからね。
いやいや。
The tip, I mean, yeah, the thing you want to do is hit the tip of the chin, because that torques the head. And, you know, it isn't hitting the chin that does it. It's putting enough torque on it that it rattles their brain and essentially just, like, turns on the body's emergency shut-off mode and be like, oh, shit, things are bad, time to just play dead.
足癖の悪い姉貴で本当に申し訳ないです。
Dad, completely unfazed, shrugged and smiled ironically at Uncle Hideyoshi.
わしには兄弟がおらん。
Lucky man.
だからエヴァとルドルフ君のじゃれ合いを見とると胸がポカポカしてくるんや。兄弟や家族はほんまにええもんやな。
あら、ジョージ君に弟を作ってあげるという話はないんですか？
Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
もうジョージ君も立派な大人になって手も離れたでしょうから、次の子がいてもいいでしょうに。
おいおいキリエ、生まれてくる子の苦労も考えてやれよ。よくこの性悪姉貴から生まれて、ジョージ君はあんなにもまっすぐ育ってくれたもんさ。本当にジョージ君は偉いな。うちのボンクラに今度爪の赤を分けてやってくれよ。
Yeah, he'll learn eventually.
そんなことないわよ。エヴァ姉さんの教育が間違ってなかったから、ジョージ君はあんなに素直ないい子になったんだから。
I eat beatings.
ですよね、姉さん。
あら、
With a mere
そ
threat of them.
んな。うちのジョージもまだまだ頼りなくって。そうそう。それよりお宅のエンジちゃんはどんな具合なの？
Angie.
吐いちゃったって聞いたけど。
Oh,
そうやそうや。
not good with the travel.
久しぶりに顔が見れると思って期待してたんやで。
Or just stayed home.
大丈夫なんか？
いつも季節の変わり目に風邪をひくんです。どうも弱くって。
Well, we wouldn't really call vomiting a symptom of a cold, but
本当は連れてきたかったんですけど、今回は私の実家に面倒見てもらっています。
well, when did they say this was? October? Makes sense to catch a fall bug. Flu season.
それが賢明よ。本家の毒気に当てない方が治りは早いもの。大人の都合より子供の病気の方が大事よ。
Yeah.
わしな、吐く風邪によう効く薬知っとんや。帰ったらすぐ送るさかい。
Yeah, Zofran.
使うてくれや。
Great. It's a prescription drug usually given out for like if you have really bad morning sickness or going through chemo. I somehow managed to get it when I had food poisoning a while back. Fucking fantastic. It works miracles.
ありがとうございます、秀吉兄さん。
What is it? It's some like chemical blocker in your brain that just like prevents your body from vomiting.
いつもお世話になりっぱなしで。
And once the conversation suddenly veered off in that direction, we kids didn't have a chance of butting in. For now, I'm just happy that Auntie Ava gave Dad his just desserts up for tugging on my ear.
まだ天候調査中がなくならないね。
George and to keep pointing at the counter. The pending weather clearance sign was still stuck on the schedule departure time for the flight we were scheduled to board. According to Aniki, smaller planes are more susceptible to winds and other effects of the weather. Yep. And it's not all that uncommon for flights to be delayed because of that. Wait a second. It isn't really gonna shake, is it? Down here on the ground, it looks just cloudy, not windy. Well, I can tell you from personal experience, it's a lot windier high up than you would think. Well, I guess it's different up where planes fly.
ちょっと天気が怪しいものね。
Auntie Ava was looking at the TV in the lounge. The weather forecast was being broadcast, informing us that a typhoon was approaching the Kanto region.
また台風か。親族会議が毎年10月ってんじゃ。これは宿命だぜ。もうちょい時期を選んでくれりゃいいのによ。
Fall's towards the end of the rainy season in Japan, isn't it? I'm actually not entirely sure when the monsoon season goes from.
どう
Pretty
か
sure it
ね。
starts in early summer or midsummer. I don't know, somewhere around there.
私もお盆の時期にやってくれればっ
You're all smarter than
て
me,
いっつも思うわよ。ならルドルフ、それ今回の会議でお父様と兄さんに提案してみればいいじゃない。
冗談。姉貴が言えよ。俺が何を言っても兄貴は聞かねえよ。
いやよ。私は別に10月でも困らないもの。ルドルフが台風が嫌だからって言うから提案したらって言っただけよ。
俺は台風が来るのはいつものことだなって言っただけだろ。お盆の時期がいいって言い出したのは姉貴だぜ。
あら、去年ルドルフも言ったわよ。お盆の時期なら仕事のスケジュールとも合わせやすいのにって。
Sure, probably. I'm not entirely familiar with when all the Japanese bank holidays
言
are.
ってねえだろそんなことよ。
言ったわよ。私、そういうのは絶対忘れないもん。
いや、言ってねえよ。言ってんのはいつも
Yeah,
姉貴だよ。
older siblings have a real good habit of not letting fucking anything you've said ever go ever when they can use it as ammo against you.
知ってる？寸止めって高等技術なのよ。
チェ、
I mean,
いい
yeah.
年した女がはしたないことばっかしてんじゃねえぜ。
Dad and Auntie Ava's argument looks no different than a couple of brats bickering.
普段は父親や母親として振る舞っていても、こうして親族会議で元の兄弟に出会うと、子供の頃の自分に戻っちゃうからだろうね。
Well, it just means they have a relatively good relationship, so
と、
you know, better that than
冷静に
being
分析できる
fucking
ジョージ
ice
兄貴
cold
の
to
方
each
が
other.
ずっと大人に見えるぜ。俺は将来あんなクソ親父みたいにはなりたくないね。なるなら兄貴みたいな知的な大人になりたいもんだぜ。
I mean, he's like 23.
僕かい？僕なんかまだまださ。社会経験が全然足りないし、社交性も度胸も足りない。バトラ君にはそれらのいくつかがすでにあるよう
And
に
like
思うよ。
different style of glasses so you don't look like a dweeb.
だからきっと成人したら僕なんかすぐに追い抜いちゃうさ。
Maybe a different color than like it's not quite piss yellow, but it's too light to be mustard. I don't even know what you would call that yellow, but it's not very appealing to the eyes. Bile yellow, let's go with that. George Anarchy scratches his head and laughs, as though trying to hide his embarrassment. Of course, he was just being humble. Anarchy entered a university and became an apprentice at Uncle Hideyoshi's company at the same time, studying both academics and how to become a business emperor in parallel. Then, right after graduating, he got into Uncle Hideyoshi's company as his father's aide, piling up a lot of real-life experience as he devoted himself zealously to his work. Nothing like a little nepotism to get you a good job. He even has grand dreams of one day standing as his own and becoming lord of his own domain. Anarchy is a real paragon of a man, sparing no effort as he strives towards his goal. It's no exaggeration to say that I really respect him. Then there's me. I'm nothing at all like Anarchy. I'm living my happy-go-lucky, idle high school life to the max. I've got no dreams for the future. Nothing wrong with that. I'd like to just sit back, stay cool, and let the money flow in. Well, of course that can never happen. But When Aniki was my age, he had already formed an impressive objective and had started devoting himself towards studying for that goal, so I guess I can't compare at all. My dad just says, sure, you can study at my company if you like cleaning toilets. Damn it, I'm not gonna be in debt to that old bastard. And I'm not gonna choke. My own spit. I'll find my own way myself. I guess that intensity is one of my qualifications towards adulthood. Should I go on one of those self-searching journeys that are all the rage these days? Well, it's not like I could mooch off my parents for that kind of money.
Oh!
I mean, you probably could. Right then, Uncle Hideyoshi shouted out loudly. Uncle's a real nice person on the whole, but he does have a problem with controlling the volume of his voice. When I look over, I saw that he was greeting Auntie Rosa, who had come late.
おおおローザさんやないかマリアちゃん久しぶりやの
久しぶり。マリア、お久しぶりです。でしょ？言ってごらん。
Ah, it's fine. It's family.
お久しぶりです。
I know her voice. Why do I know her voice?
そうやよく言えたなご褒美に飴玉あげような
Oh, nice. What kind?
おっとあれどこにしまったんや
I guess I'm like one of some of those hard caramel candies.
ローザ
Like
さん、
butterscotch.
お久しぶりです。マリアちゃんもお久しぶり。
ご無沙汰してます、キリエ姉さん、秀吉兄さん。と、あら、バトラ君？大きくなったわね。
Yep, shot up like a weed.
いや今日は会うたびに言われてて恥ずかしいっすよ。
おうローザ遅かったな。飛行機がダイヤ通りだったらギリギリってとこだったぜ。
You know, as long as you get on board, it's fine.
ごめんなさい。列車の接続がうまくいかなくて。なに？また天候調査中なの？
What's with her, like, little neck thing there?
ぼやかないぼや
Got
か
like a
な
little
い。
duck on there, too? Or something?
船で6時間も揺られるくらいなら、飛行機でほんの30分の方がずっとマシよ。
There, nope, nope. Well, whatever. It's probably some hotkey that I'll find eventually.
たとえ1時間余計に待たされたって全然早いんだから。
マリアちゃんも大きくなったで今身長いくつあるんや
身長いくつあるんや。
Maria parroted Uncle Hideyoshi's question, looking up to her mother. I guess she doesn't remember her own height. She's probably right in the middle of her growth spurt, so her height must change every month. Just a few more years, she'll probably start looking very feminine.
この間の身体測定でいくつって出たっけ？これでも少しずつは伸びてるんですよ。ねえ。
去年よりもずっと成長したと思いますよ。今年で9歳でしたっけ？
9歳。
Pretty tall for a 9-year-old. Either that or like all the other women are super short.
そうだね。9歳だね。マリアちゃんも元気そうでよかった。
I need to see her against
よいし
Battler.
ょ。
We know Battler's like 6 foot.
もう高い高いをするにはちょっと重くなってきたかな。
Just
う
means
わ
you need to start
ジ
working
ョー
out.
ジ兄貴そりゃレディに失礼だろ。
Alright, so assuming everyone's on equal level ground here, she is like one head shorter than a 6 foot tall guy, and she's 9 years old.
俺がやってやるぜ。高い高い。
When I went to lift her up in Aniki's place, Maria stiffened defensively, staring suspiciously at my face. Ah, that's right. Last time I met Maria was 6 years ago. She was only 3 years old. Yeah, she's like, who the fuck is this guy? Of course she doesn't remember my face.
マリアちゃん、 覚えてる？
I can't really blame her.
バトラ君よ。一緒に遊んでもらったの忘れちゃった？
無理だろ。最後にバトラと会ったのは3つの時だぜ。3つの時の記憶なんか残ってねえ。
I mean, you remember some stuff, but it's more just like vague flashes of like, for some reason, things that are just burned into your brain. She must know everyone's face apart from mine because she meets them every year. But I haven't had contact with the Ushiromiya family for about 6 years now. So it's no surprise that this 9-year-old girl doesn't have any memories of me. Even I can only just barely remember her being a 3-year-old crybaby.
マリア、バトラお兄ちゃんよ。ルドルフおじさんの息子さん。わかる？
おじさんの息子さんが、おじさんが息子さん。
I get it. I come from a big family on both sides. You know, I'm less connected with my dad's side, so it would go for like Christmas, whatever, and then like the one cousin that it's like you haven't seen in like 7 years shows up, and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? That ooh was probably the sound of her brain breaking, unable to understand the complicated explanation. I guess it was a bit too confusing for her.
マリアちゃん、彼はバトラ君。僕と同じいとこだよ。
庄司お兄ちゃんと同じ？バトラ？いとこ？
そう。よくできたね。
This part of Anarchy is what makes me really look up to him. For someone who isn't married, he's just great at dealing with kids. For some reason, I'm also fairly decent with kids. Might be the fact that my sister has like 6, and I'm the favorite uncle because, you know, I'm not afraid to throw some hands with a child, and for some reason that makes kids like you more. I'm sure that he'll be an indulgent father in the future.
バトラお兄ちゃん？
Maria looked straight at me with a questioning expression, as though asking whether it was alright to call me that.
おや、俺がバトラだ。よろしくな、マリア。
こらマリア、呼びつけちゃダメでしょ。バトラお兄ちゃんと呼びなさい。
That's fine.
いいっすよ、ローザおばさん。細かいことは気にしないっすから。
Yeah.
まあマリア、俺とお前は名前を呼びつけ合う仲だもんな。
バトラバトラバトラ。
おや、マリアマリアマリア。
There we go, one brain cell between the both of them. We horsed around for a while to make up for the 6-year gap in our friendship. She probably still thinks of me as nothing more than a big new friend, but things will probably work out as we get to know each other again. But I'm surprised. She's just the way I remember her being 6 years ago. It seems that people just don't change that much after all. I'm a bit happy that she's still the pure, innocent girl I remember. Just give her like another 3-4 years, and then she'll hit a rebellious phase. Her name is written like that. That one's not so difficult to read. It is for me. Of course, it says Maria. The third character looks like a cross, which is pretty cool. Her feelings don't usually show on her face, so it can be difficult to know just what she's thinking. That's just how she looks on the outside. On the inside, she's just a sweet, normal girl. Then there's Maria's mother, Auntie Rosa. She's my dad's younger sister. Rosa is written like that. Here's a name that's totally not Japanese. I'm gonna have to take your word for it, bud. What are the characters? Sorry to say, but her name's almost as ridiculous as Dad's. I gotta respect her for not ending up screwed up as she is. For not... screwed up as he is. Words are hard. When I think about it, all the names in my family sound foreign. Yeah. Just why is grandfather so obsessed with this? Because of him, even us grandchildren have to put up with this weird naming sense. It's even more annoying since grandfather's own name is perfectly normal. Anyway, there's only one thing about Auntie Rosa that's a relief compared to the other family members. The old bastard and Auntie Ava have this annoying urge to tease and mock people all the time. But even though she shares their blood, Auntie Rosa just isn't like that at all. She has the most common sense among the siblings. Like Uncle Hideyoshi, she's a kind aunt who will always be on the kid's side. Words are hard. Oh god. Getting used to new fonts after being used to the Muv-Luv font after like a year and a half is fucking breaking my brain. It's like I've completely forgotten how to read. However, possibly because she's more strict as a parent, she's not liberal with handing out spending money like Uncle Hideyoshi is. Alright. Now that we have the entire group of family members who are going to board the plane. Though it had waited for us to all gather, an announcement rang out through the
お
lobby.
待たせしました。新島行き201便の搭乗をこれより開始いたします。ご搭乗のお客様はカウンター前の白線前に2列でお並びください。
ローザ、搭乗手続きまだだろ。急げ急げ。
いけない。
It's the 80s. All you gotta do is like fucking show your ID and get your ticket. It'll be fine.
マリア、いらっしゃい。
We had to go through a metal detector before going on to the runway. Our small plane wasn't as massive as an international flight, but it was still a plane. A staff member holding a metal detector checked all of us. Yeah, just a hand wave metal detector. Once all of us cleared the check, we followed the staff member out onto the runway. Come to think of it, everyone here is in the Ushiromiya family. It's just like, it's like this is a reserved charter flight or something. Our group stopped in front of the entrance of the airplane. Then, our guy turned around and spoke, looking down at the passenger list as she did.
それではこれよりご搭乗となります。名簿をお読み上げいたしますので、前方の座席、右側から順に右左、次の列の右左と詰めてお座りになってください。それではお読み上げいたします。後宮秀吉様。
わしからか？はい。
Nice. If you're on a plane, you really want to sit towards the back, mainly because that's the most part that's intact during a plane crash. It's where the black box is, so you know it's the safest place.
そうだ、エヴァ。飴玉あるか？
Because, you know, even though you want to be up in the front, because it's like you just board and you sit down, but, you know, if things go screwy, the nose of the plane is the first part to hit the ground.
さっきから探してるんだが、見つからないんや。
後宮エヴァ様。
ハンドバッグの中よ。機内に入ったら出すわ。
I've heard the candies are a good way to protect your ears from hurting due to the vibration and atmospheric pressure when landing or takeoff. The variations, I was about to be like, it's not vibrations. That's probably what they're talking about.
俺の席、窓際だといいな。
I mean, really, all you need to do is like open your jaw and like pinch your nose and like try to blow air through your nose, and you'll pop your ears on your own.
大丈夫だよ。窓際席しかないもん。
According to George Aniki, there are only apparently 2 lines of seats. Yep, it's a small plane, all right. Isn't really gonna shake, is it?
後宮ジョージ様。
はい。大丈夫だよ、バトラ君。あんまり揺れないから。
後宮バトラ様。
兄貴。あんまりって、どのくらいだよ。船から落ちても泳げるからいいが、飛行機が落ちたらそれでおしまいなんだぜ。
It depends.
もちろん客席にはパラシュートがあるんだろ。ねえの？
No.
後宮ルドルフ様。
ほらバトラ、感動してねえで。
聞いて親父。おさってパラシュートがねえんだよ。
後宮桐江様。ほら、仲良くじゃれてないの。
Yeah, and odds are if you crash, you're gonna be in the ocean, so there's a slightly better chance than if you just go
進む進む
down right into the dirt.
言ってよキリエ。押すなって。ボンクラが進まねえんだよ。
後宮マリア様。
進む進む。
後宮ローザ様。ほらマリア、静かにしなさい。
Yeah.
こちらは機長の川端です。 本日は新東京航空201便をご利用いただき誠にありがとうございます。新島空港までは約20分のフライトの予定です。
A real short flight.
上空の気流が乱れているとの報告が入っています。多少の揺れがあるかもしれませんので、離陸後もシートベルトは外さないようにお願いいたします。
兄貴、シートベルト外しちゃいけない揺れってなんだよ。
Yeah, so you don't fucking fly up and hit the ceiling and break your neck.
ジャンボ機なら離陸後はシートベルト外せるぜ。それが外しちゃいけないってどんな揺れだよ。
Oh god, I'm so glad when I fly overseas, it's usually like a cargo jet and I'm just able to get up and walk around the cargo bay. So much better than just like sitting down the entire time.
くそー、騙された。何が揺れないだ。パラシュートはどこだよ。やっぱり俺は船が良かった。
Alright, you can go get seasick on your own. Have fun. Is that like the chapter title? Alright. Just name title crawl. Characters who were in this episode? I don't know. Let's just vibe for a while, huh? How about that? Yeah, that looks like an airplane engine, all right. Not one that I'm entirely familiar with because I don't do turboprop, but it looks like at least that's the service hatch towards the front there to service the oil. Just pop that open, you know, pour in some oil and slap it down, close, and you're good to go. It gets hot as fuck though after it just landed. But, you know, that's when you need to service the oil. Otherwise, it cools down. And, you know, we've all watched Evangelion, so we know about how thermal expansion works. And if you don't do it within an hour of it landing, it gets too cold and all the fuel, like... I don't want to say contracts, but, you know, hot things expand and you don't get a proper reading, so you don't actually know how much is in there. Well, you do, it's just... you won't get an as accurate reading. But did you die, though?
落ちる落ちる
マリア、もういい加減になさい。でも意外ね。
Yeah, don't jinx it.
バトラ君、てっきり怖いものなしだと思ってたから。
Yeah, some people just have irrational fears.
こいつ、昔から乗り物がなぜかダメでさ。
Like, any vehicle?
二言目には落ちるだの沈むだの。情けない男だな、おめえは。
Yeah, men are supposed to like big machines. It just like speaks to the soul.
ありゃ、さすがに揺れすぎだろう。小型機乗るのは初めてだったから、ちょいと答えちまっただけだぜ。
You need some like Benadryl?
あの大騒ぎでちょいとなの？バトラ君とは海外旅行を一緒に行くと賑やかそうね。おばさんとエジプトとか行かない？ 14時間も飛行機に乗れるわよ。
Yeah, but those like big international long haul flights are, you know, a little more comfortable.
いい提案ね。バトラ君、エヴァ姉さんに少し鍛えてもらいなさいよ。それにしてもおかしい。
Alright, don't bust his balls too hard.
こらこら、人間誰しも得て増えてはあるもんや。そない笑うたら悪いで。
Yeah.
父さんも笑うのは悪いよ。
He's not laughing at him. That's just more like a laughing in general laugh.
ほら、マリアちゃんももう笑っちゃダメ。
もう笑っちゃダメ？
Yeah, don't make fun of people. God damn it! Is being scared of planes really such a big deal? Yes. Everyone obviously thinks I'm a big oaf now. We split up and took separate taxis from the airport to the harbor. From there on, we would take a boat to the island. The islands are right next to each other, so it's not that far. It would be a leisurely 30 minutes by boat. As we arrived at the pier where the boat to the island was anchored, we saw a silhouette waving its hand.
ジョージ兄さん、お久しぶりだぜ。
やあ、ジェシカちゃん、1年ぶりだね。また伸びたんじゃないかい？
よしてくれよ。毎年言われんのは恥ずかしいぜ。
Well, stop growing.
おいおい、兄貴、嘘だろ？こいつが本当にジェシカなのかよ。
ってことは、ジョージ兄さん、このデカブツ、バトラなのかよ。
We both stared each other down. She definitely didn't look like the grown-up in my memories. I do remember her crazy way of talking.
よー、ジェシカ！なんだよ、お前！嘘だろ？なーに女みたいな格好してんだよ！なんだよ、これ胸かよ！お前にも胸なんかできたのかよ！
Don't be talking about your cousins like that.
揉ませろ、揉ませろーい！
ふざけやがれ！私は花も恥じらう18だぜ。髪だって伸びりゃ出るとこだって出るぜ。てめえに揉ませる胸なんざあるもんかい。バトラこそなんだよ。
Well, at least they seem to get along with each other.
だけでかくなりやがって。知った腕力ついたのか？
ざげんじゃねえ。あれからどれだけ鍛錬積んだか思い知らせてやんぜ。
You don't seem that fucking haunch battler. You're like, I
う
don't
ぜ
know.
え
You
ぜ。
do have any muscles? You're kind of like that ropey, kind of like runner swimmer kind of style.
返り討ちだ。
This headstrong girl's name is Ushirimiya Jessica. Sure, whatever that said. Pretty sure it was Jessica. She was born under the same unlucky star as me, sharing the same kind of weird name. You see, that set of kanji is pronounced Jessica. She's Dad's older brother's daughter. That older brother happens to be the eldest of the Ushirimiya family, so I guess that also makes Jessica a direct heir to the Ushirimiya family. Since Jessica and I are the same age and had that type of boy-girl rivalry between us, we've always been used to fighting and joking around with each other whenever relatives gathered. Jessica grew more quickly, so she always had me beat in terms of size and physical strength. Yeah, girls tend to hit puberty fucking quicker than boys. So when we scuffled in contests of strength, like this, it usually went Jessica's way. So even though I clearly understand that I'm bigger now, I still feel like I can't win against Jessica with my strength.
なんだよ。何マジになってんだよ。いててて。
おいおいおい、全然力入れてねえぜ。ジェシカ、お前貧弱になっただろう。
うる
I
せ
don't
え
think
ぞ。
it's just that you gotten big.
こちとら女やってんだ。いつまでも腕力で男に勝てるわけねえだろ。
I mean,
ま
it
あ
could be.
そりゃそうだよな。
And like, you really hit the gym.
俺が腕につけた分の肉をお前は胸につけたんだもんな。俺の腕とお前の胸ならちょうどいい力比べになりそうじゃねえのか。
だからお前に揉ませる胸はね
Yeah, I know, cousin lovin' is a little more, I want to say socially acceptable in Japan, but it comes up a lot in stories, so.
え。それよりお前こそどうなんだよ。身長以外にも他のところちゃんと大人になったのか。
Say my boy's got a shrimp dick?
バカやめろ。いやん、この野郎お嫁に行けなくなる。変なとこ触んないで。
人様が聞いて誤解すること言うんじゃねえ。
Don't bring it up. Honestly, I'm so surprised about how feminine Jessica had become that I had to seriously horse around to hide it. Well, yeah, considering what a bossy brat she was 6 years ago, anybody would be surprised. And I guess she's just as surprised. She definitely wasn't expecting she'd lose to me in a test of strength. After losing that easily, she must be shocked at how much I've grown in the past 6 years. 6 years. Once again, being shown just what a huge gap of time that was.
やれやれ。
乾杯だぜ。こりゃもう私じゃかなわない
Absolute
な。
blowout.
そんなことないよ。バトラ君にもきっと弱点はあるよ。ね、マリアちゃん。
Yeah, like airplanes.
落ちる落ちる。
バカよせマリア。それは内緒にしような。
落ちる？なんだそりゃ。
あいにくだが、この弱点はジェシカにはもうさらせな
Yeah,
い
but
ぜ。
she knows about it now. It won't take long to piece two and two together.
何しろ悪夢の空路はもう終わっちまったんだか
Or
ら
you
な。
could just spill the beans yourself.
あとはのんびりチャボチャボとお船の旅さ。あのオンボロ漁船がこれほど恋しくなるとは思わなかったぜ。
ああ？ジョージ兄さん、こいつ頭どうかしたのか？
Probably.
すぐにわかるよ。すぐにね。
At the time, I didn't understand what Aniki meant by that big smile.
これははあ、バトラさんも大きくなりまして。
Who's it this time? It's an old lady with an apron. Oh, yeah, that takes me back. I remember now.
バトラ君、覚えてるかい？ほら、
What, family
お手
employee?
伝いの熊沢さんだよ。
熊沢のばあちゃんは忘れねえぜ。何しろこの6年ちっとも老けちゃいねえぜ。むしろ若返ったんじゃねえの？
What a charmer.
最近はお肌がピチピチしてきちゃって。ほら、胸もますますに大きくなっちゃいましたんですよ。
Okay.
揉んでみます？
ご冗談。俺が揉みたいのはピチピチした姉ちゃんの胸限定だぜ。
私とて若い日にはそれはピチピチしておりましたよ。
40, 50 years ago.
ほらほら、ぜひどうぞお揉みくださいませ。
ひょー、勘弁してくれよ。若い姉ちゃんだ、若い姉ちゃん。
Yeah, nothing wrong going on a cougar hunt, but this is yeah, pushing it a little bit.
熊沢のばあちゃんじゃねえよ。
The jokes I cracked about Jessica were being used against me. Come to think of it, she was always the type to tease people.
おいおいよせよ熊沢さん。監獄に半分足突っ込んだ人がはしゃいじゃいけねえぜ。
若い方とじゃれるの
It's
が
better for old people to be
何より
energetic.
の若返りの薬ですよ。
熊沢さんが迎えに来るなんて珍しいじゃない。どういう風の吹き回しかしら。用事を頼まれるといつも腰痛になるあなたが。
エヴァ様は相変わらず手厳しゅうございます。急なお買い物がありましたもので、そのついでに皆様のお迎えをしようと思いまして。もっともお迎え待ちの老いぼれのお迎えでは景気も悪いでしょうが。
Auntie Ava spoke sarcastically, but Kumasawa Bachan's years of experience were nothing to sneeze at. She was more than capable of smoothly and coolly letting the comment slide. Well, I'd rather not say it, but old Kumasawa Bachan may be past her prime as a servant. She might act as though she's in good health, but between her headaches and the lumbago, her body's wearing out. To tell the truth, the very fact that she's here, very fact that she's still working is impressive. Words are hard. Sometimes you just make them up as you go. How old is she this year again? She must be pushing 80 by now. It's incredible that she's still able to act so brightly.
ますますにお元気なようで。
My grandmother's like that on my mom's side. Her hobby is to walk through the woods and find good stones and carry them back and make stone walls on the property.
そうだこれ。前に話してたお茶です。ほら、買ってきました。後で飲んでみてください。
Auntie Rosa showed her the souvenir bag she'd taken out of her suitcase. I think she had remembered the promise she had apparently made last year and faithfully brought it. This sort of thoughtfulness was just like Auntie Rosa. She wasn't the kind of person who would forget or break a promise. and I'm the kind of person who doesn't stutter all the time. Nope, not at all. As for Kuma-sama... Oh. Huh? Wasn't it Sawa? Oh, whatever. Words were changing. My brain's melting. As for Kuma-sama Bachan, she seemed deeply touched by the fact that not only had Auntie Rosa remembered that year-old promise, she had brought the gift for a simple servant like her. This woman was Kumasawa Chiyosan. Yeah, Chiyosan. Yeah, it was right. It's Kumasawa. Is that a typo? Listen to voice line. Yeah, I don't care about that. Yeah, okay, cool. It wasn't me. It was a typo on the text. Blame the game. I am 100% without fault at all times. She's a senior servant who's been working for the Ushiromiya house, head house for many years. As you could expect from someone her age, she isn't that good at manual labor. From kitchen work to cleaning and laundry, she's a kind of super servant who can handle just about anything. Seems like her only flaw is a tendency to slack off. Here she tries to get away from heavier, troublesome work, playing up her chronic diseases. I would too, bud. In Kumasawa Bachan's case, we should call that sort of lazy... Maybe we should call that a sort of lazy craftiness. Though it probably doesn't impress those paying her salary. Ah, well. Even if she's pretty flaky when it comes to work, I can never dislike her. I guess that's probably because of her cheerfulness and her constant smile.
いやー、相変わらずお元気そうで何よりでんな。あれから背中の具合はどないでっか？
薬を飲んでもちっとも良くなりませんで。
Go see a chiropractor.
こればかりはお医者様ではどうにもなりません。不治の病っちゅうもんですわ。
It is what
そ
it
れに
is.
してもジェシカちゃんはますます美人になったな。夏日姉さんに似てよかったぜ。
そうですか？私的には全然似てないつもりなんですけど。つうか、親には似たくないです。尊敬してないんで。
There we go. That's the rebellious phase I was talking about.
こら、そんなこと言っちゃダメよ。それにしても、親に似たくないって言ってる人が多いわね。うちの一族は。
あ、それ俺。
バカ言え。お前こそ俺に似るんじゃねえ。お前の鼻が似ててムカつくんだよ。
何言ってんのよ。
Give it through punches and it'll start looking a little different.
呆れるくらいそっくりよ。あなたもお父様もね。
おいおい、そりゃねえだろ。俺のどこが親父に似てるってんだ？
傲慢で偉そうなところとかそっくりよ。あんたと兄さんは特にお父様の血が強いわね。
Alright, keep the jabs to yourself.
ねえ、ローザ？
まったく。クラウス兄さんもルドルフ兄さんも信じられないくらいお父様にそっくり。
おいおい参ったな。なんで俺だけ女どもに集中放火なんだ？
Spoke up and made yourself a target.
秀吉兄さん、助けてくださいよ。
いやいや、ルドルフ君はいっつも女性にモテてるな。
Yeah, this man's smart enough to know when to pick his battles.
羨ましいで。
This one's all on you, bud.
相変わらずモテモテでお羨ましいことです。それでは皆様、お船の方へお乗りくださいませ。さあさあ、マリアさん、一緒にお船に乗りましょうね。
一緒にお船に乗る。みんなも一緒に乗る。
おや、
Yes, that is what she
も
said.
う今度は怖くないぜ。波で揺れるのは慣れてるしな。オンボロ漁船の場合、揺れて怖いってよりエンジンがぶっ壊れて漂流するんじゃねえかって方が怖いぜ。
They probably got a paddle on board just for you.
そうだ、バトラ君、言うのを忘れてた。あの漁船はだいぶ老朽化してたんで数年前に引退したんだよ。
Oh, you get a new one?
今は他の船が島まで運んでくれるんだ。
ああ、そっか。バトラは新しい船が初めてなんだな。
Better not just be a little dingy.
快適だぜ。すっげえ速いんだ。何しろとんでもないスピードが出るんだからさ。
ほう。ってことは 船旅の時間がさらに短縮されたわけか。そりゃ素晴らしい。何しろ飛行機よりマシとはいえ沈没の危険にさらされる時間が少しでも短くなるってんだから、こりゃ極めて素晴らしいぜ。
おー、バトラーはまた落ちる。
And none on the boat.
そりゃ飛行機の時だけさ。もう大丈夫だぜ。
何しろ船長自慢の改造高速艇らしいぜ。
Nice.
だいぶいじってるらしく、プロペラは高性能のが4機もついてて、最高速度は40ノットを超えるとかなんとか自慢してたな。
It's a pretty good clip for a boat. It sounds like it's a decent sized one too.
いつも自慢されるんで覚えちまったぜ。
僕も毎年聞かされるんで覚えちゃったよ。
That's almost 50 miles an hour because a knot is 1.15 miles per hour. So, yeah.
船長は昔外国の漁船と速度比べをして負けて以来、スピード改造に取りつかれちゃったんだってさ。その時の相手は漁船なのに30ノット以上も出せたんだってね。
その雪辱の念が結実してスカッと爽快な超高速改造艇の誕生となったわけさ。バトラーもきっと気に入るぜ。
Super high speed modded boat? First thought was this would be much better than some beat up boat that might sink at any time. But for some reason, I have this feeling of foreboding. Nah. Yeah, a boat that's pushed to its limits, might be slightly more dangerous than just a little
おい
boat
バトラ
going
ー、島までは泳いで行った方がいいんじゃねえ
バトラ君、柵からあんまり身を乗り出しちゃダメだよ。
Yeah, don't want to fall off.
落ちちゃうから。
Also, this shaking is really aggressive.
落ちる。
チェックしろー。さっきからみんながニヤニヤ笑ってたのはこれだったのか。
Yeah, just because it goes faster, that just means it's going to hit the surf even harder. The super high-speed boat, said to have been modded to hell and back by its captain as a personal hobby, it's definitely nothing like the battered old fishing boat from 6 years ago.
揺れる。落ちる。落ちたら海じゃねえかよ。溺れちまうぞ。パラシュートだじゃねえぜ。浮き輪
Yeah,
どこ
don't
だ。
want to go in the water with a parachute, bud.
ライフジャケットをくれ。
You should be wearing a life jacket. You should always wear a life jacket like anytime you're on a boat.
なんだよバトラー、おめそれ何の真似だよ。
ジェシカちゃんもマリアちゃんもいじめちゃ悪いって。バトラ君も怖いなら甲板に出なきゃいいのに。船内ならもう少し怖くないと思うけどな。
No, he's a big, strong man. He's fine.
そいつはサンキューだぜ兄貴。海難事故の犠牲者はいつも船内なんだ。生存者を抱いて事故時は甲板なんだぜ。
I mean, you're not wrong.
だから俺はここにいる。でも揺れる。落ちる。ふわふわ。
Alright, Battler, you're not cutting the most reliable image right now.
マリア、よしなさいったら。でもバトラ君、本当に苦手なのね。船長さんに速度を落とすように言ってきてあげるわ。
No, then I look like a little bitch.
ローザおばさんありがとう。海の上でも安全運転、徐行運転、指差し確認。
ダメよローザ。
Hey, you're really gonna take away your
青
fun?
年には試練も必要なんだから。ねえバトラ君、これぐらいへっちゃらで克服できちゃうわよね。じゃないとおばさんとエジプトに行けないわよ。
I don't think he wants to go on that trip.
エヴァおばさんの意地悪。あーダメ、落ちる。
What a happy family that gets along perfectly. Nothing will ever go wrong with them.
ライフジャケット、パラシュート。ふ いや、ひっくり返して考えるんだ。敵の狙いは何だ？
What enemy?
俺をこうして怖がらせることか。そいつが狙いなら甘いぜ。ビビってなんかやるもんか。でもダメ。
I think he's broken. So, after I made a huge fool of myself for a while, Auntie Rosa had a talk with the boat captain, and he slowed down to a more manageable speed for me.
これくらいならなんとか。さっきのは生きた心地がしなかったぜ。
Nah, that adrenaline pumping is what makes you feel alive. The new speed, which I was capable of tolerating, was apparently extremely slow. But that just now was completely insane. The whole boat was shaking, sliding and leaping on the ocean's surface. Felt like I was riding on the back of a flying fish. Jessica was still gawping at me as I leaned against the railing, tired and disheartened.
さっきは力比べで負けたけどよ。もっと重要な部分で負けてなかったことが分かって、私は嬉しいぜ。
Yeah, she might got you beaten guts.
いや、しかし。
くっそー。好きなだけ笑えよ。
I'm more of a man than you are.
いつか弱点を見つけ返して、てめえの胸揉みつぶしてやるぜ。
Please don't talk about groping your cousins.
見つけられたら考えてやるぜ。
バトラヘロヘロ。
ああ、バトラヘロヘロだ。海も空もごめんだぜ。俺は陸の上で死にたいさ。
Oh, you can die in the sky. You'll eventually reach the ground, probably. Murray was patting my back, so I patted her head in return. Her expression was blank, as usual. I realized that she wanted to console me.
バトラ君、船長が罪滅ぼしにってドリンクをサービスしてくれたよ。飲んで一服しないかい？落ち着くよ。
George Aniki and Kumasawa Bachan brought us each an ice-cold drink with drops of moisture on the can. Judging from Kumasawa-san's big grin, our parents inside the boat were probably all rolling around laughing at my moment of pure terror. Oh, damn it. I'm so embarrassed that I can't bear to face any of them. I didn't change the subject now, and the feeling I'd be the butt of everyone's jokes for the whole trip, so I tried to think of something harmless to talk about.
ああ、ジェシカ、クラウスおじさんと夏日おばさんは元気なのかよ。
親父とおふくろ？残念ながら元気だぜ。二言目には勉強しろってうるせえけどよ。
Yeah, study, get into good
秀
school.
吉おじさんとかルドルフおじさんとか、そういうこと言わなそうだから羨ましいぜ。
とんでもない。僕も受験を控えてた頃はいっつも受験って言われてたよ。うるさくも思ったけど、今は感謝してるよ。
はあ、やっぱりジョージ兄貴は人間ができてるな。ちなみにうちは絶賛放任中だからな。なんにも言われないぜ。
Yeah, it seems like you have pretty free-range style parents.
まあ言われたって聞かねえけどな。
バトラさんはまだご実家には戻られておられないのですか？
Yeah, it seems like you've been out doing your own thing.
まあちょくちょく戻るようには。まだ服とかだいぶ前の家に残してるんで。
Oh, it's been like 6 years. Doesn't sound like any of it's gonna fit you.
バトラ、お家が2つある？
まあな。
どうしてお家が2つ？
Yeah, tell us. Tell this child and also the audience. Only Maria, who couldn't really grasp the situation, voiced her naive question. However, the others just shot nervous glances at me, choosing not to respond, even though they knew the answer.
マヤ！ほら、船着き場が見えてきたぜ。ほら、あれ、見えるか？
船着き場見えた！
Apparently, Jessica was trying to be nice by changing the subject. Ah, well. I'd rather not talk about it if I can help it, but it's uncomfortable to have to treat it like some kind of weird taboo. I don't mind it that much myself anymore. I'm in Ushiromiya. But the truth is that, for the past 6 years, I've been living with my grandparents on my late mother's side, and I've been using her family name. When those grandparents passed away, one after another, I basically had no choice except to go back and live with the old bastard. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't just run away from home or anything like that. The only one at fault here is my dad. I don't really blame Kirie-san. Being able to hold that old bastard's reins and ride him out is no mean feat. But as for the betrayal that the old bastard inflicted on my mom, well, unfortunately, I still haven't fully gotten over that.
もうすぐ着くね。
George Enke cleared his throat, trying to change the topic.
失礼しました。年寄りが余計なことを言ってしまったようで、お気に障りましたら。
Nah.
気にもしてないし、触ってもないぜ。気にすんなよ、熊沢のばあちゃん。
Yep, Battler's a big, strong, tough boy with, feelings that don't get hurt. Kumasawa-san seemed to regret speaking out of turn, but I was more concerned about being worried over for something like that, so I stood up and passed it off lightly. After that, I had a sip of my drink and headed over to Maria and Jessica, who were gazing at the silhouette of the island.
バトラー、島が見えた、島が見えた。あれ
どれどれ。おお、見えてきたな。6年ぶりでも記憶と寸分変わらない島影だぜ。
Yeah, it's an island. Lives on a geological timescale. 6 years is a fucking nothing. Small island silhouette in front of us had gotten pretty close. The island's name is Rokkenjima. It's a small island about 10 kilometers around, located in the Izu archipelago. Since they call this archipelago the Izu 7, a lot of people think there are 7 islands, but that's not true. There are actually more than 7 islands. Rokkenjima is one of the minor islands that don't get counted. Even considering that, there are probably very few people who know about this island. After all, only the people of Ushiromiya family come to this island. Well, yeah, if it's, your family's private property, there'd be really no other way for other people to visit. In other words, there's no ties whatsoever to outsiders or tourists. Perfect place for a closed circle mystery. So, you'll never find this island's name in a travel brochure. It's because all of Rokkenjima is an estate property of the Ushiromiya head house. Only the Ushiromiya family lives there, and only people connected to the Ushiromiya family come and go there. There's nothing there except a harbor and a mansion. The vast majority of the island is still uncultivated forest. Such a waste, when it could be made into a nice golf course. Really? It looks a little too hilly for that. Who's calling me? Spam call. Cool, don't care about it. However, when you realize that an entire coastline is a private beach, it starts to sound pretty magnificent. I don't know, man. It looks really rocky and like it doesn't really have a beach. Just kind of a drop-off. Might have realized it now, but to put it simply, well, the Ushiromiya family is just rolling in dough. The fortune possessed by the head house is apparently vast, and Dad and the others who make up the branch families have built up plenty of wealth for themselves, finding success in their respective businesses. And it's really easy to make money when you already have more of it. I've been living a commoner's life in my grandparents' home these 6 years, so I'd completely forgotten. The old bastard's house really is elegant, and everything about it is tuned to match the snobbish taste of the annoyingly rich. Come to think of it, I guess that means George, Aniki, Jessica, Maria, and I are all wealthy, high-class gentlemen and ladies. Needless to say, none of us feel that way at all. I don't see myself as being rich, and George Aniki takes self-discipline very seriously, doesn't let himself get too comfortable. Jessica is always complaining that she'd rather move to the city than be rich. Maria is still a kid who isn't even interested in money at all. I guess that attitude itself is snobbish. From the perspective of people in poverty who can't pay the bills, We're very lucky to have the luxury of thinking this way. This isn't the place to explain any further, so I won't. Anyway, it's the same as not being able to choose the parents you're born from. I didn't ask to be born into a rich family, and I don't think it's something I should be hated for. It can be pretty tiring when people are prejudiced against you just because you're rich and refuse to judge you for your merits. As I pondered these sentimental thoughts, Maria leaned over the railing and started shouting.
Hmm? どうしたんだよ、マリア。何か落としちゃったのか?
Not something different about the locale? Maria kept yelling, "Gone, gone." From her words alone, I think she had perhaps dropped something. She was actually pointing over the ocean as she shouted.
どうしたの? 何がないんだい? 僕も探してあげるよ。何?
If she dropped something, she would probably have looked down on the floor, but he was pointing out over the ocean. One would assume that she had seen something out over the ocean, but she kept saying that something was gone. Strange. However, since my last memories of this place come from 6 years ago, I was able to spot it before Aniki, who comes here every year.
あれ? 確かさ、この辺の小さい岩の上に鳥居みたいなのがなかったっけ? そうだ、確かにあったぜ。島に近づいてくると最初に迎えてくれる目印みたいなもんだったからよく。
へえ、バトラすごいじゃねえか。6年ぶりなのによく覚えてるもんだぜ。
I mean, usually they're big and red, you know, compared against the green, gray, and blue, you know, sticks out pretty easily.
あったね。僕も思い出したよ。鎮守の社と鳥居みたいなものが岩の上にポツンと立ててあったよ。そういえばないね。去年は確かにあったと思う。
Seemed fairly broken up over this.
大方、波か何かでさらわれちまったんだろう。
Yeah, also, you know, possibility saltwater tends to fucking eat things alive.
小さい岩だったしな。だいぶ風化で脆くなってたんだろうさ。
私もそうだと思ってるんだけどよ。亡くなっちゃったのはこの夏のことなんだよ。なんでもよ。
ある晩に大きな稲妻が落ちてお社を砕いてしまったんだ。鎮守様に落雷があるなど、
yeah.
これは不吉の兆しに違いないと。くわばらくわばら。
Kumasawa-san smiled impishly, as if teasing us, rubbing her hands together. However, Maria was apparently taking it seriously. She stared fixedly over the ocean where the crag enshrining the local guardian deity was supposed to be.
不吉の兆し。
Yeah, I'm not very superstitious, but that's some fucking bad juju, my guy.
よせよ、熊沢さん。マリアはそういう冗談の通じない年頃なんだからさ。
大丈夫だよ、マリアちゃん。偶然だよ。何も怖いことなんか起きないよ。
Rokkenjima put a hand on Maria's shoulder to calm her down, but Maria's sharp-eyed expression didn't budge.
不吉、不吉。
Maria muttered that word over and over. Apparently, repeating a single word over and over is a habit Maria's had for a long time. However, since the word she kept saying was quite literally ominous, it was a bit creepy.
おいおい、マリア。そんなに何度も繰り返してたら、本当に不吉がやってきちまうぜ。
I tapped Maria on the shoulder, Maria's other shoulder. Then, Maria whipped her head around, staring at my face and spoke unblinkingly.
不吉、来る。
Well, that's creepy.
来るって、どこからさ?
From God. I answered lightheartedly, trying to break up the tension in the air. In reply, Maria held up a finger, raised her arm high, and pointed up to the heavens. When I looked up, I saw that the sky was still just as cloudy, but It had grown a great deal more leaden than it had been that morning. That's right, they were saying that a typhoon was approaching. We'd planned to spend one night on the island, but if the storm doesn't pass quickly, we won't be able to make it to school on Monday. Well, I guess it makes for a pretty good excuse to be absent. She'd apparently sensed something ominous in this cloudy sky. She'd been muttering for a while now. Those of Maria's age tend to be very impressionable. She's just about the age when many girls start to get excited about sixth senses and whether they have psychic potential and stuff. In a way, being sensitive about things like this isn't really that out of the ordinary for a kid like her.
大丈夫だよ、マリアちゃん。天気は今夜くらいには崩れるかもしれないけど、明日には良くなって綺麗な青空になってるよ。
おー、綺麗な青空。
It usually is after a storm.
おー。
そう、明日になれば綺麗な青空になるよ。
It'll feel nice too, usually when there's like a low pressure wave like that comes blowing through.
止まない雨はないし、
Really
晴れ
cools
ない
things
雲だ
down.
ってない。
Makes the air nice and crisp.
おー、止まない雨、晴れない雲。ふー。
確かに台風が近づいてるけどよ、すぐに過ぎちまうって。大丈夫さ、マリア。
Good kid? Maria just started yelling, ooh, ooh, as though she was having a tantrum because no one could understand what she was trying to say. What in the world is Maria trying so desperately to warn us about? Unable to understand her, we could do nothing but feel a vague sense of foreboding. I've heard that everyone can feel the supernatural, but that it weakens as you age. This might mean that Maria, the youngest one of us all, still possessed some kind of sense that the rest of us had lost. That sense was sending her a warning. At that moment, Kumasawa-san quietly opened her mouth.
なんでRokkenjimaはその昔。
Ah, great. Perfect time for some ghost stories.
熊沢さん、その話はなしにしようぜ。
Just as Kumasawa-san was about to tell some kind of story, Jessica sharply interrupted her. For Jessica, this was an extremely firm reaction. I wanted to push her further, just a simple curiosity. But judging by how Jessica was acting, it wasn't difficult to imagine that it would simply inflame Maria's unease further. If I did try to press her for the story, the odds were pretty good that it wouldn't be anything bright and cheery.
それは申し訳ございません。
Some old people just like to stir the pot.
ここの風は年寄りには応えますんで、ちょっと失礼させていただきます。
Gossipers have no reason to hang around after they've been told to stop chatting. When Kumasawa-san realized that she'd overstepped her bounds, she went back inside the boat. After she left, Uncle Hideyoshi came along to replace her. Since he'd shown up partway through, he'd completely failed to notice the complicated atmosphere that hung around the scene, so he refreshingly and unwittingly swept that atmosphere aside. So in the end, it was his unwittingness that brightened the mood.
もう到着だそうやないか。おう、もうちょいやの。今日はのんびりスピードだから時間がかかってもうたわ。
Nothing wrong with a nice little leisurely trip.
誰のせいやねん。
うわ、秀吉おじさん、もう勘弁してくださいよ。
もっと言ってやってください。たく、バトラのせいで時間かかりすぎだぜ。
Maria had probably come to the conclusion that no one was going to listen to her. She hung her head, wearing a fretful face. As she did, George Eniki crouched down to meet her eyes and spoke to her kindly.
マリアちゃん、何も怖くないよ。だって僕たちが一緒だもの。
Yeah, nothing bad's gonna happen.
一緒だと何も怖くないんだよ。言ってごらん。
Yeah, that's the secret. Just will it into reality.
一緒だと何も怖くない。
うん、一緒だと何も怖くない。
そうさ、ジョージの兄貴の言う通りだぜ。
And nothing is gonna, pull this family apart so that way things are no longer okay. Nope. Not at all. That's never gonna happen. Don't know what you're talking about.
俺たちが一緒にいると、いつだってなんだって絶対に怖くねえんだ。な、ジェシカ。
ああ、間違いないぜ。ジョージ兄さんの言うことはいつも本当だよ、マリア。
ジョージお兄ちゃんはいつも本当。
Is always true or always right? I feel like always right would have been a better word to put there, but hey.
僕は嘘をつかないよ。だから信じて。
Or to put what he says is always true.
みんなと一緒にいれば何も怖くないんだよ。
Whoops, slammed them together.
ジョージお兄ちゃんは嘘をつかない。
I mean, is there really a person alive that doesn't lie?
信じる。みんなと一緒にいれば怖くない。怖くない。
Maria jumped into George Anaki's arms and hugged him tightly. After Anaki patted her head, she jumped away again. Her facial expression had returned so completely to normal that she looked like a totally different person for moments before. She was once again the ordinary Maria.
みんなと一緒だからもう怖くない。
Yep, just ham-fistedly give us the moral of the story?
ああ、そうだぜ。
So that way we can get our payoff in like 50 hours?
マリアは強いな。偉いぜ。
マリア偉い。
Don't know why that's in green?
なんや、どうしたんや。マリアちゃん、船酔いだったんか？
Nah.
ん？
Just mood swings.
まあ、そんなとこです。もうじき着きますね。
The harbor was already drawing near. Oh god, the shaking finally stopped, thank god. Ooh, new trophy, nice. But with that and arriving to the island, that's where we're gonna stop it here for today because I don't want to waste all your guys' time. You know, I'm sure you guys got things to do today. I got things to do today. Like I need to start grinding more in the FF14 because I finally started playing that again and I got to level up all my crafters and then I got to do the coils of Bahamut. So yeah, once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. And I will see you all next time for the next episode of Umineko. See you guys all there later. Bye.